What's poppin', knights? It's OnoKage, otherwise known as the King, and I come to you with another exciting part 2. What if the Uzumaki clan survived? Okay, so this part's coming out a little later than I expected, only because I'm just now recording it on current date. I forgot what day it is. I think it's the November 1st, but I'm recording this on November 1st, and the only reason it's coming out this late is because I was working on the Madara song, and for some reason, I don't like it, so I had to push everything back. So I was going to record this part and work on the song again at a later date after I put this part out to you as soon as possible, or as soon as, God, Filmora will let me. It takes a day and a half just for the video to export, and they're only 30 minutes long now. Could you imagine if I was still doing the hour-long parts? I would die. This computer sucks. I need to get a new one as soon as possible, but that's not your concern, nor is it your problem. So, I feel like I've talked your ears off long enough. So let's get into it. Woo!
Whoa. I'm about to go call me a brick, crushing your whole little shit. Whoa. Mars so cold, I pull up on cop with the blow. Now I'm like, whoa. She a brick on the low, now she want suck on my toes. And I'm like, whoa. You the bummy asshole, now you want sit on my toe. Nope. Bitch, I'm the king in the house so cold. Pull up on a nigga with a 9-0 coat. Spray air, pray that the picture go. Kill me a nigga with a Bible poem. She say stop, don't go no more. Well, she my queen, can't treat her wrong. We don't fuck on, we just run on like my dog, bro. We don't slow up. Rundy, now she wanna fuck me, now she wanna hold me down like a Duffy. I can see her, my short ring gun don't let me run. I'm a demon, I'm a beast, no I can't stop, I'll spin. Whoa, hey, bitch, I'm the king of this shit.
We pick up right where we left off, with the three, Itachi, Hinata, and Karin, rushing off, trying to get Minato to the hospital. They're acting as guards, both activating their twin lion gale fists, brandishing off any would-be attackers. Meanwhile, Itachi and Nagato square off with Baki and B. While Itachi yells, "Cloud, sand, what's the meaning of this?" Baki holds 2 fingers to the side as he speaks. "I don't really know nor care why the cloud is here, but I'm guessing we both have our grudges against the leaf." And Killer B takes out his swords as he responds, "We have our own reason for this duel, you fool. Hope you understand, but backing down ain't a plan. Yeah." God, the cringe. Killer B's fun. Alright, Itachi pulls out his kunai and Nagato his chakra rod. He then yells, "Ramaru, I'll keep my promise. After the tournament, we're getting ice cream." Baki gets frustrated. How dare this man ignore him? He launches his blaze of wind, but Nagato holds out his hand and absorbs the chakra. And Itachi, seeing that the battle has started, rushes B, kicking him in the chest, but it doesn't make him budge. Itachi is then stabbed with all 8 of Killer B's swords, but it was merely a clone, an explosive one at that. That clone explodes, knocking B back off of his feet. Itachi then unleashes a Phoenix Flower Jutsu as the smoke clears, and B had to activate his foretell state just to avoid the attack, while Nagato uses air bullets that Baki dodges. But that's what Nagato expected. As Baki is in the air, Nagato smiles as he yells, "Universal pull," catching Baki off guard, and he's reeled in. Nagato then grabs his throat and slams him into the ground. Unconscious, Nagato breaks the chakra rod in half and stabs Baki in both of his hands, draining his chakra. He then rushes to Itachi, who stands still as B rushes, cloaked in his crimson aura of the Hachibi. Itachi's eyes spiral as it begins to bleed, and B is emulated in black flames. Writhing in pain, Itachi coughs a little bit. He rubs his lips and notices that there's blood coming from his mouth, even more than before. He's able to hide this from Nagato, but Ramaru was able to notice using his genjutsu. And while B is still writhing in pain, Nagato stabs him as well to drain his chakra. And when he stops yelling, he begins to transform. Nagato uses Almighty Push to knock the giant beast outside of the village. As B transforms, Itachi's flames subside. Meanwhile, Team 7 is in hot pursuit of Team Sand. With all the dojutsu active, Temari shoots a huge blast of wind, but Nozumi sees this and yells jump. They avoid the attack. Naruto then unleashes toad oil, spewing it from his mouth in a straight stream. Kankuro stops and blocks it with his crow. Nozomi rushes Kankuro, activating her curse mark, grabbing her father's blade, charging wind chakra into it. As she yells, Kazeyari, or wind spear. Kankuro tries to block it with Crow, but she crashes right through it while severing his chakra threads, leaving Kankuro defenseless, as she zones in, stabbing him in the foot, paralyzing him. Naruto stops and looks at her a little scared, but he continues to move forward. Naruto then grabs Sasuke in Nozomi's arms as he stares ahead, placing a seal in front of Gaara and Temari, using the flying Raijin to teleport in front of them. Temari stops and sets Gaara down, getting into a fighting stance to protect Gaara, who stands up, telling her that she's in the way. He punches her, throwing her into the side, launching her into a tree, but then Naruto is able to teleport over, catching her. And while she's down for the count, he ties her hands together so that she can no longer aid in this fight. All together turn their attention toward Gaara as he yells, Anbu formation, firestorm. The three spread out. Nozomi yells callous windstorm jutsu, creating a tornado, and Naruto shoots toad oil, making the tornado black with the oil, and Sasuke yells fire style, great flame annihilation, creating a flaming tornado that engulfs Gaara. He screams in pain for what feels like an eternity, but eventually the screams stop. Nozomi yells, look out. And from the flames, a huge claw made of sand jets out. They're able to dodge in time, but before they land, they're each pelted with sand shuriken, strong enough to shred through the trees. Naruto stands up before the other two. He coughs up blood while looking around the field, placing seals and one special one in front of Gaara. He then says, Sasuke, I know you were saving that burning lightning thing for me in the final round, so it's only fair I show you what I was saving for you too. Naruto then forms a seal for Shadow Clone Jutsu, and out of all the seals that Naruto placed in the field, 10 Narutos pop out that rush Gaara as he just yells dust style, windstorm, at blowing all of Naruto's clones away. While Gaara was distracted with those clones, the seal in front of him, Naruto pops right out and latches onto Gaara, holding him tight as that clone says, boom. That Naruto clone then explodes, knocking Gaara out of the trees. Naruto and 3 clones jump down on top of Gaara, forming the Rasengan, about to slam them into Gaara's back when Nozomi notices something's not right. With her Sharingan, she could see a huge amount of chakra building up inside of Gaara. She then activates her curse mark, using Gale's step to gain enough speed to attempt to save Naruto, and she does, but only barely. A giant claw shoots up from Gaara, smashing down 20 trees that were around them with ease. As they stand and look at the beast, another sand claw swarms up and grabs and engulfs Naruto. He's trapped in the sand coffin. Nozomi claws at the sand, trying to get it off Naruto, but it's so coarse it won't move. There's nothing happening. All that's happening is her nails are starting to bleed as she continues to claw at the sand. Sasuke begins to help up, using lightning style, but it won't work. And they both stop when they can hear Naruto chanting something. Inu, Tori, Saru, Hitsuji. They pause as trying to listen closer, but all they can hear is Gaara yelling, sand coffin, as Naruto screams, summoning jutsu, carrying him and the rest of Team 7 on top of Gababunta's head. The standoff begins. Team 7 versus Shikaku, Fugaku, and Shinjiro versus the first and second, as well as Orochimaru. Itachi and Nagato versus the Eight Tails, Gyuki. So let's start with Itachi and Nagato. They stare down the Eight Tails, neither of the two moving, just waiting for the other to attack. And the silence breaks as the Eight Tails slams his tails down on the ground, forcing the two to scatter as B raps, run and dance, you little ants. For the Eight Tails makes you piss your pants. That is an actual quote. That is an actual quote from Naruto. Nagato throws a chakra rod that B spins to avoid. As he spins, Itachi shoots a Phoenix Flower Jutsu that does little damage. B, beginning to grow impatient, charges a tailed beast bomb. Seeing this, Nagato counts 9, 10. The beam starts to fire as he jumps in front of it, yelling 11. As he gets there, he screams, almighty push, holding the blast into destruction. While B's guard is down, he charges black flames in his hand and rushes B at high speeds, taking a cue from Sasuke, aiming for his shoulders. scorching them, embedding the flames inside of the beast. As it reels and screams in pain, Itachi tells Nagato, "We can't let him die. We need him for questions." Nagato smiles, saying of course. As B deflates to his normal form, Nagato absorbs the flames. Meanwhile, Team 7 is on top of Gababunta, rushing Shikaku. Naruto then yells for the Chief Toad to jump. As he does, they are miles in the air, and Gaara uses playing possum jutsu to give Shikaku control. He begins to yell, shooting air bullets at the team. Naruto yells, "Fire formation, guys, now!" Gababunta looks at him retort and screams back, "Nani the fuck does that mean, kid?" Naruto just shakes his head and goes, "Shoot oil! Shoot oil!" The Toad does. He begins to shoot a giant stream of oil. Naruto tries to add, but he finds he's low on chakra. He can barely shoot any. That clone exploding seal jutsu took too much out of him. While Nozumi and Sasuke are continuously shooting giant streams of fire that get engulfed inside of the oil, creating a giant blast. Enough burning through the air bullets, landing a strike on Shikaku, but it wasn't enough to reach Gaara. While they're in the air, Shikaku is dazed. Naruto jumps off of Gababunta towards Gaara. He lands a punch strong enough to tear Gaara from Shikaku. As Shikaku falls apart, Naruto and Gaara fall. Naruto then shoots the last bit of chakra he has, a gale palm, to push himself forward towards Gaara. As he does, he catches Gaara, and the two are still plummeting towards the earth at high speeds. He tries to summon the Fumingan, but he can't. He tries to teleport to one of his seals he has, but he doesn't have the chakra. He just closes his eyes and braces for the impact. But he was caught by Nozumi and Sasuke, using their curse marks to gain enough speed to reach them. Naruto just breathes a sigh of relief. He then looks up to the Toad and says, "Thanks, Chief. Hey, I owe you a lot. You should go home and rest now, though." Gababunta scoffs. "Kid, you can't do me any favors until you're old enough to buy me a drink or some smokes. So how about until then, don't die? I intend to collect on my debt." Nozumi also waves bye to the giant Toad, saying thank you. The Toad then poofs away, and Naruto ties Gaara's hands together. He then throws him over his shoulder. Sasuke then takes a Chidori and smashes Gaara's gourd of sand so Nagara can't attack. Naruto smiles, saying, "Smart, Sasuke. I completely forgot he can do jutsu without his hands. He would have killed me." Sasuke calls Naruto an idiot. He then says, "Hey, we should get a move on. We need to get these two to the hospital and meet up with Big Bro Itachi." They all nod in confirmation. Sasuke grabs Kankuro and Nozumi grabs Tsunari. They then travel. Gaara wakes up and looks at his brother and sister. He then looks down and sees an orange jumpsuit. He then speaks as he asks, "Why?" Naruto questions, "What do you mean?" Gaara continues, "Why did you save me?" Naruto continues to hop through the trees as he responds, "When you were young, did you feel alone? Like everyone in your village hated you for something you didn't do, but you still felt guilty about it?" Gaara stays silent, contemplating this question, and Naruto chuckles to himself, taking that silence as confirmation. "Yeah, me too. I got a He stops. The beast inside him isn't a monster. It can talk. It can feel. The beast is an asshole, but that doesn't make him bad. His dad taught him not to be judgmental. He corrects himself. I got one in me too." Gaara yells, "How could that be enough? I tried to kill you. I tried to kill you and your team." Naruto sighs. "I know what you did and what you were trying to do, but I couldn't just kill you, even if it was my mission to. I wouldn't have killed you. Listen, it's hard to kill somebody when you know they feel the exact same pain you have. And dying young, without ever living, without knowing what real happiness is, that's just too much. So people like us should just work together. We gotta show them that we're not the monsters they think we are. We could be more than that. At least give me the chance to talk to you before I make any big decision on your life. Gaara is shocked, almost speechless. This boy is around his age, but he's able to speak openly and bluntly about his feelings to someone he just considered an enemy not even an hour ago. Only one question fills his mind. How? How can you be so sure that they would be willing to accept people like us? Naruto smiles. Because I won't be alone. And you don't have to be either, Gaara. Even if the whole world doesn't accept us and treats us like monsters, we'll accept each other. And we could talk more about it later. Naruto reaches the hospital, and he lays Gaara down with his family. Sasuke heads out, but Nozomi stays for a quick second because she wants to add, Naruto's serious. Think about it. For whatever reason, he doesn't think that you're a bad guy. And if Naruto trusts you, I do too. Oh, and tell your brother when he wakes up, sorry for stabbing him in the foot, but he totally deserved it for not fighting me. Gaara begins to ponder. This female might be crazier than me. She leaves the room and catches up with Sasuke, and as he walks through the halls, Sasuke sees Karin, and Hinata covered in blood, leaving a hospital room. He runs up to them, checking if they're okay, but Karin just runs up and hugs Sasuke back, surprising him until he feels her shaking. She's afraid. He looks at Hinata while holding Karin tightly and asks what's going on. She tells him. Lord Fourth apparently fought some really strong ninja. He made it out with his life, but he was overwhelmed. Hinata then falls to her knees as she sees Naruto and Nozomi down the hall. They overheard everything. Naruto rushes past them, looking into the room where he sees his dad's unconscious and broken body. He reaches out for his father's hand, but his fingers are swollen. He pulls back not to harm them any further. The air around Naruto begins to grow heavy as his chakra becomes visible. It's a deep, dark red, almost crimson as dried blood. Nozomi runs up to telling Naruto just to breathe, to relax, to breathe. He does. His chakra disappears, but the look in his eyes does not change. Naruto wants to fight. He wants blood. He wants to avenge his father. And that's when Karin tells Itachi to block the door. Karin yells at them. Right now, Uncle Fugaku and Shinjiro are handling the threat. All three of Team 7 members are now trapped in the room, trying to find a way to leave. But Itachi yells, we want to help too, but they said we just get in the way. They told us to continue just to helping the injured shinobi. Sasuke yells, where's Itachi and Nagato? Hinata responds, last I checked, they were fighting someone with a lot of chakra, similar to Naruto and that boy you just brought back. Naruto calms down, taking a deep breath, grabbing his father's blood-stained kunai. He then looks at Itachi and Karin. Listen, I know I'm not the smartest guy here, but I really think we need to go. If my dad was awake, he wanted us to do something. Whether that just be helping the injured, we have to do something. Sitting here and arguing won't do anything. So let's move and save our village. Itachi then begins to whisper in Sasuke's ears. Since when was Naruto so good at speeches? Sasuke scoffs. All that loser does is talk. It's basically a special jutsu. So let's just move. And sorry, but that's where we're going to have to end this part for today. So, tell me what you think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you rate it? Next part's going to have some big boy news. There's going to be a lot happening in the next part. So I hope you're excited for it. It's already written, so I'm going to put it up. Next week, I'm going to do the next part to the Frieza one, and then another My Hero one, and then the continuation to this part. So hope you're ready. There's a little kind of schedule for you, and the Madara song will be out at some goddamn point. I do not know. I'm working hard on it, but for some reason, I just don't like it. I don't know if it's the beat. I don't know if it's the lyrics. I don't know if I'm off beat while I'm making the song, but it's going to be out eventually. I don't know when, but I'm going to keep putting the work in to make sure that it comes out good and that it's a product that I can be proud of. at least proud of enough to put it out to you. I know that isn't an excuse, but I hope it's a good enough excuse to say that why this video came out a little bit later than what I had intentioned. But other than that, I think it's time to move on to my favorite time of the day. The commenter callouts. Lego. And our first comment comes from Budokan, who says, I keep up with your videos pretty heavy. You've honestly inspired me to write some fan fiction myself. And I'd like to name a character after you in my what if. If you were interested in reading a what if Vegeta surpassed Goku from the beginning type story, I got a good start now. Keep doing what you're doing, and especially keep writing about Vegeta and Goku training Naruto and Sasuke and Naruto. It's fire. Also, like the Uzumaki clan surviving, just keep doing you. And to you, I say, if you want to name a character after me, go ahead, bro. I want to say this up right first and foremost. I really appreciate the comment. I'm happy that I inspired you to do something different. And if any of you have any content you want me to check out, just drop it, man. I'm going to. Hit me up on Instagram. Like, I respond to a few people now. Like, they gave me their videos and I've watched a whole bunch of them. I even left a few comments. Like, if you have content you want me to check out, or if you want my advice or my tips, or you want a feature with me in a video, dude, always. I love that stuff. I don't want to keep swearing because YouTube hates me. But I love doing that stuff, man. It makes me happy, and it's happy that I can have a voice in whatever little community we're building right here. So let's keep going. Let's keep doing great things, and let's keep moving forward, man. You're the Knights, and I'm OnoKage. Let's always make something powerful. Let's keep going great. Our next comment, let's go. Next comment comes from George Martinez, who says, we need to continue this. Oh, it's from the What If Goku and Vegeta Train Naruto and Sasuke final part 17. We need to continue this. I want to see Naruto crew talk to the Z Fighters and Broly. If there's ever a future TOP, maybe some of the Naruto crew could join the Z Fighters. Also, one last thing. We need to see the fusion of Naruto and Sasuke versus Gogeta. Amazing work. Fantastic series. OnoKage. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, dude, I completely intend to continue it. Everybody seems like they want more, so who am I to deny the people? Know what I mean? Yeah, I'll keep riding it. It's gonna be on a little hiatus for now because I want to see where Boruto goes with this newest villain. Not Jigen. You know, Jigen's dead right now. I'm talking about the Code. I'm trying to see what to do with Code and the female and the little boy they got with, because their powers seem insane, and I want to see like how I can incorporate them into the story when the story gets to that point. I can think about parts at least. It's like 3 chapters ahead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anything to be surprising, which is why the My Hero story is going to go a little bit slower, because this Miss America superhero looks badass and her powers are insane, and I just really want to see where she goes to. Other than that, let's move on to our final comment. And the final comment is from Werewolf Damo, who says it's Universal Pool at 1620. Yeah, I said Almighty Pool. I apologize. I know what it is. I mean, I didn't at the time. I just said it because I was reading a story. But I pulled this comment out to say, if you have critiques to my work or my reading, let me know. I'm not perfect, and I always strive to get better. Like, there was a comment a few days ago, and I don't know where it is or who said it, but they said that they didn't like the intro. They said it was trash or something like that. And I want to know if you are that person who said the intro is trash. No hate towards you. I don't want to put your name out there because I don't want people to hate on you. But if you could, if you don't want to do it publicly in the YouTube chats where I can read it, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. And I'm genuinely curious to figure out why, because if there's a specific reason, I don't know if it's like, I can't say valid because every criticism is valid, but I want to know, like, why don't you like it? To see if it's something that I personally don't like too and that I want to improve on. Just let me know so that so that I can work together and try and improve myself and my music, because I always want the best me that I can be. Other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe. OnoKage out. Peace.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. If he run the homie, gonna get smoked. No time for the lame ass jokes. I'm the GOAT. You a gringo when that story's been told. I make money moves, controlling every view. Oh no, you got hella crew, but no one's helping you. What's wrong? Now you on your own, you really want to smoke? Oh no, Chico really done it wrong. What's wrong? The hollow meta in the sky bro. Keep talking crazy, I might go post though. Always trouble when they go too far. Nobody mess with me familiar. Father.